What is up, Gamer Army? Welcome back to another episode of Psycho Gamer. I am your host, Aubrey, and today we're going to go over a game that Arcade1up has not quite released, but they've sent documentation out saying that it is something that is coming. What is that title going to be? Well, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We're going to talk about the Fast and Furious game and why it's somewhat relevant right now. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. Like I said, we are going to talk about Fast and Furious by Arcade1up. Now, this is really a title that nobody really expected, and from some of the comments you're going to see on the Facebook channel that I'm going to kind of point you towards, nobody really asked for it. They've been asking for a lot of different titles, and one of the titles I'm questioning is, where the heck is Time Crisis? So that yellow arcade cabinet that they ended up showing off, or somebody ended up leaking a couple months back, 2-3 months back, I think it was, is nowhere to be seen. Again, so is the Casino Kid. The Casino Kid has apparently disappeared on everybody as well. So maybe they were just testing the waters and seeing what the YouTubers and all of you were going to say about these particular releases. Now, personally, I thought the Time Crisis cabinet looked ugly as sin. But when you start looking at cabinets such as the Fast and Furious, obviously it's going to be a one-player game. There really isn't any information out other than one specific little picture. So we're going to switch over into my computer. We're going to take a look at this particular flyer or advertisement, and you guys have to tell me what you think about it. All right. So here is the actual flyer from I guess the Arcade1up mailing list. So you can see these are all the newer deluxe cabinets that don't have any kind of risers. You got your Pac-Man, you got your Miss Pac-Man Galaga. So you got that special anniversary edition. You have Mortal Kombat. And then you have the Fast and the Furious. Why Fast and the Furious? A lot of people would rather have Pole Position or Hydro Thunder or anything else but Fast and the Furious. Now, why are they doing Fast and the Furious? Well, it couldn't have to do with the fact that Fast and the Furious 10 is slated to be released in the theaters in May. No, it couldn't happen to do anything with that. Now, these are, it is a brand that's owned by, I think, Raw Thrills, if I'm not mistaken. They've got one new Fast and Furious cabinet that just came out. It has like 4 big screens. It actually is kind of cool looking. That'll be something we'll never see by Arcade1up because, you're talking a $10,000 brand new cabinet. So maybe if they're still around in 20 years, we might see it. But Fast and the Furious, I mean, I don't really know what to really say on this. I mean, this person, Katie Freifeld, sorry if I butchered your name, she posted it on here, and even she mentioned Fast and Furious coming, not what anyone in this chat wanted, but maybe gives us hope for a game like Hydro Thunder. I do agree, Hydro Thunder probably would have been a better option, or maybe a Daytona USA. Let's see what some of the comments really say. And if there's cussing, I'm not going to say it, but you'll get an idea what people are saying. Another person saying a game nobody screamed for, really dialed in their fan base. I kind of have to agree with them. I mean, there's a lot of games that people have been screaming about, but Arcade1up really hasn't gone out of their way to really try to release recently. I think the last one was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and NFL Blitz and The Simpsons and Tron. But what have you done for me lately, in the words of Eddie Murphy? So, yeah, Hydro Thunder, people want Hydro Thunder. They have no idea what Hydro Thunder is. And I don't think it's a matter of they don't know what it is, it may have to do with licensing more than anything else. I think that's going to be some of the big issues that we're really going to be seeing here is licensing. A lot of these companies don't want to let go of their intellectual property or lease it out or, let other companies make money off of what they actually own the rights to. There's a lot of companies that are going to be that way. I mean, look at Nintendo. Why haven't we gotten Donkey Kong or Mario Brothers yet? I mean, that's pretty much a standard across the board. Now, I think if Arcade1up would partner with Nintendo, do a 50-50 kind of thing, I think then we might be able to get some home-based arcade cabinets that might be worthwhile. Because, Nintendo is not going to release garbage. However, they have a stranglehold on their IPs. So, some of the things that we're looking at, just the biggest car culture movie of all time with a fan base who's mid-30s, 50s with money in their pockets. So weird, right? I can agree with that to an extent. Now, we also have to remember, these cabinets really, in many cases, they're meant for nostalgia. But you got to remember, these aren't built like the actual arcade cabinets. They are built much cheaper so that they can be more affordable. If you want to call, $1,000 or up around $1,000 as being affordable. What else we got here? Just want to thank One Up for helping me kick my habit of buying every new thing they put out. Save me thousands of dollars. Yeah. Now, obviously, I only have the Ninja Turtle one, and I'm not really sure if I'm planning on keeping that one much longer, because realistically, it's a good backdrop for the channel, but it never gets used. I mean, I'll beat the game. I've beat the game a few times, or both the games a few times, and it's just me. I don't have a bunch of people to play against. Now, if I had like a racing game or some sort of fighting game that had online play, not Marvel vs. Capcom 2, then maybe I'd actually play my cabinet a bit more and actually enjoy it a bit more if I had a larger selection of games as opposed to 2. So, Fierce coming out, I have to get it. This guy, Rob Ringe, apparently he worked for Raw Thrills, and he's on the game in some form or fashion. Pole Position. Could have done any other driving game, like, I don't know, Pole Position. Again, a lot of people would like to have some of these classics as opposed to something a bit more current. You have another one, Talkin' Cruisin'. Obviously, Cruisin' USA, Cruisin' the World. Those titles would be huge, huge sellers. Outrun was okay. I personally like the cruising games a whole lot better. Heck, they might even be able to partner with NASCAR and release a NASCAR game. I guess it's just a matter of, again, licensing. What do you guys think? Post down below if you think this would be a title that you would actually pick up. I guess it depends on how it's made. I mean, when you're starting to look at a game that's early 2000s, then, early to mid 2000s, depends on what version of this game they're going to actually release. Obviously, it's going to be based off of the first game, so you're going to have a lot of the cars, if not all of the cars, from that first movie. Daytona USA, obviously, would be one people would want to see. Hope Walmart buys too many of them. They go on sale for $199. They're not even out. People are already talking sales. So Mickey Thompson's Off-Road. Hey, Off-Road, 3 steering wheels, as opposed to a single one. Now, I know generally with the arcades for the Fast and Furious titles, they have a couple of cars that can be linked together. Wonder if they might do that, where they might have to do some sort of link with this. Obviously, people want this with Daytona USA, where you can link multiple cabinets or cars together, so you can have up to like 8 or 10 players. Pole Position 1 and 2. Show them Off-Road again. More Pac-Man, obviously. Talk about Pac-Man, the Miss Pac-Man Galaga edition. A lot of people, San Francisco Rush. I mean, there's not really much more to really say because a lot of these people have really said it all when it comes to a lot of these titles. Class of 81, not the dedicated Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. I don't know. I would love to see something other than Fast and Furious myself. Ridge Racer, yes. I would love to see Ridge Racer. But as you can see, multiple people have said completely different cabinets. There's so many of these particular titles they could have done to kind of bring their fan base back. I mean, go back to your roots, go back to your origins, guys. I mean, I do love the fact that they're trying something different. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo is trying something different all the time. They flopped with the Wii. They flopped with the Wii U 100%, and now they have the Switch. They got rid of the Nintendo DS, the 3DS, so they're kind of combining all the things. But going to something that's a little newer, it's kind of stepping outside their safe zone. I don't know. But what do you guys think? I really want to hear what you guys have to say on Fast and the Furious, just to kind of get a better idea of, would you buy this? What title would you rather see them make, especially when it comes to racing games? Because we know there's not too many of them. I know they just released the Star Wars, or re-released Star Wars Arcade for everybody. Wasn't one a lot of people were screaming for, but there were some that really wanted to get it. And then when they ended up getting the Glenn's, what was a flight stick, I think it's called, then people were actually much happier with it because it really dropped in just like it did for the original Star Wars Arcade that Arcade1up released a number of years ago. So they really didn't change much when it comes to at least that particular piece of hardware. So that's going to do it for the content, guys. Hopefully you liked seeing something different from Arcade1up, especially when it comes to Fast and the Furious. I think it's probably still going to sell, but I don't think it's going to be a big seller because it's not something a lot of people are really wanting. Now, if they release it around the time when the Fast and the Furious movie comes out, it could be a big seller just based off of the name by itself. So I appreciate you guys coming and checking the content out. I know a couple people checked in on a couple of my videos. I would like to thank all of you that have joined the channel recently, even though I haven't really done any videos in about a month. I've kind of got a bit sick and kind of been a little bit down about the channel because there really hasn't been anything I've wanted to talk about other than just life. I'm hoping to change this room around a little bit. Like I said, I might be considering getting rid of the Ninja Turtle cabinet, maybe putting a big TV behind me, and maybe start hitting up some of my old consoles and put them on there. I have been playing the new Hogwarts Legacy. It is an amazing game. And I've also been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft. Unfortunately, a lot of my first-person shooters, like, you know, your Fortnites and the new Call of Duty, I've kind of pushed those to the side a little bit if I want to do a mindless kind of shooting match. I'll go and toss on some Call of Duty. But it's been a number of weeks since I've even done that. So it's just mainly work, work, work. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys all coming and checking on me and checking out the videos as well. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe as always, guys. Hopefully I'll try to get some more content out for you guys. It just depends on life without the possibility of parole. Until next time, guys, game on.